So to simplify your calculation process, we introduced Google Colab, which is a similar version of Jupyter Notebook in Google Cloud. This is very easy to use and it helps us to calculate many things. The Jupyter Notebook is famous for its feature when we can put the text and then the figures together so you can have a better view of the results. So first we can put all the parameters in Python, right? Remember we can have all this parameter, the CR actually, CR is just our CR. So we do not differentiate this subscript. You can understand the notation, I think. The things I want to mention is this D prime. Yeah, here we use DD to represent the D prime. So after we put all the parameters, we can put all the formulas for all those four costs. These are all the costs. Then you are relatively easy to calculate all the results, right? So we have this total cost based on our formula. You can keep this notebook in the future for calculation. And then next, we just print out all the results where we have this rent cost, inventory cost, fixed cost, holding cost, transportation cost, and then finally the total cost. Here we only show 2 digits with a 0.2f notations. You can see the result for the total cost is the same as what we calculated. Now to better demonstrate our results, we wrap up all the formulas into one function, so which is this cost function. So you can see we have all the four cost formulas inside it, and then all the parameters are the parameters of this function. So in particular, we put our decision headway in front. Then we remember we have set all these parameters. Here H is missing, the headway is missing, because we will show how the decision changes can affect our results. So now let's try to figure out how we vary these headways. So here we use a small trick in Python where we put H as a vector of multiple numbers. In particular, you can see we want to put this 1 month headway, 2 months headway, 3 months headway, blah blah blah, okay, until the 1 year headway. So in this case, we keep increasing the headways, and then we can put this as I plus 1 divided by 12. Remember, when we use this range in Python, it tells us i's from 0, 1 to 11. So 12 integers starting from 0. So by doing this, we can create a list of headways increasing from 1 month to 1 year, and then we can print it to check. Now use embedded plot functions in Notebook. So here you can see we import these libraries which help us plot all these curves. So to calculate the cost, we similarly use the same tricks where we put the cost, which is wrap up from this function. Then without changing all these parameters, then we just keep changing the decision variable, headway. So when headway changes from 1 month to 1 year, the cost gave us the total cost under different headways. Then use this Python tricks, we can store the results for each headway. So we plot this total cost with these blue dots, then you can see the results. So from this is 1 month, and then this is 1 year. Okay, so you can see the cost decreases first and then increases, which is kind of our Nike curve. We already mentioned this briefly in the previous lectures.